In all the lessons we have several exercises, and this is not just for the guitar, for the keyboards, the drums and the bass guitar as well, of course, where you can play along with the exercises. You can see video clips, in the case of the guitar course, of me demonstrating the exercises. So a video will show you how to play the exercise. You can obviously also hear that exercise, and there will be notation showing what that music is.
Okay.
So you can play the exercise.
Let's have a look at a video. Let me scroll down to exercise 1
here. Here we go. Here's exercise 1 here. Now you'll see at the top, just above the music there, well obviously we'll get into how you read that music and how you play those chords in the actual lesson. But at the moment, just to understand how the course works in principle, there's 3 icons there, the first of which is a little video icon. Now, if you click any of those icons, it will automatically load in the exercise which is underneath the icons.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you click that video icon, you will soon see a video of me playing that exercise.
I see it and I hear it.
There it is. Now you can hear the music.
Yeah.
You can hear when I'm playing the guitar.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how the musical example's written. So you can see what's going on. So you get an idea of what it's meant to do, what it's supposed to look like. It can sharpen up your technique, make sure you're sitting with the correct posture, all that type of stuff you can get from the video clip, obviously.
All the sort of things that you would say ask a teacher or a tutor,
yes,
but that you haven't got in your book.
Exactly, and I think by watching people doing something correctly, subliminally that kind of goes in as well, so the video is very useful in that regard, not just hearing what the music sounds like.
What are the other icons that we've got there?
The one on the extreme right is the MIDI file. Now that's the backing track to which you will be playing, and if you just wanted to hear that in isolation, you can click on that and listen to it. But the most exciting part, I think, I would say, is that middle icon there with the yellow G for Gigajam on it. If you just like to click that, that will bring up something called the guitar extractor.
The extractor?
Guitar extractor.
The guitar extractor.
Yes, indeed. Which is a piece of software which will play the backing track and allow you to play along with it. Now, as you can see, that looks somewhat similar to a car CD player, that type of thing. And a little graphic shows a CD going into the extractor. Now, on the bottom right-hand corner, just before you click the bottom right-hand corner, actually, that little icon, if you just like to click that again, that takes that away. Click it, and what it does is it brings down a mixing desk. So when you hear the track in there, you've probably got drums, bass guitar, or bass, keyboards, a metronome, piano, whatever.
Everything.
Everything that you'd find in most bands, you know, will be there and playing. Now you can increase the volume or decrease the volume on any of those instruments if you so desire. You might want a little bit more bass, you might want a little bit more drums to keep you in time, whatever it may be.
What would be the effect of that?
The effect of that is just that from a musical point of view, you might like a loud drum beat to play to, you might find the piano is not a sound you want to hear prominently, whatever that may be, you can just mix it. They're pretty well mixed as they are, to be perfectly honest, but the individual can move them. And how you do that, if you can see on each of the channels, there's a nice little green button there, and it's just a little slider, and you slide that to the left and that will turn the instrument down a little bit, or you slide it to the right, which will turn the volume up.
Okay, that's simple enough. So what else have we got on the
Okay, now up
extractor?
above that, you can see play, underneath the word Gigajam. You've got play, you've then got pause, you've then got stop, much the same as any CD player. Next to that, you've got the loop button. The exercises that are written on the page will, or on your computer, will last for 16 bars only unless you put the loop button on. It will just run 16 bars and it will stop. Put the loop button on, it will just run and run and run and run as long as you want it to go for. So that's very useful. Obviously you can keep going rather than stopping and starting all the time, which is a bit of a pain. So that's really, really good. You'll also see that there's a tempo indication on the top right hand side. Now all the exercises in part 1 come up at 80 beats per minute. Now you can decrease that if that's a little bit too fast when you're trying to learn, or indeed you can go faster if you think you can play at 80 beats per minute to improve the speed of your chord changes, whatever. You can speed that right up and, you know, improve that way. So you've got something driving you along all the time.
Yeah, there's always something you can do better.
Along. Exactly, yeah. You can keep getting quicker, or of course slow it down if it's a little bit too fast.
All right.
So that's really, really good in that regard. Over on the left-hand side, where the instruments are listed, again the metronome and the drums and the piano and what have you, you'll see an M next to each instrument. That means mute. So as a guitarist, for example, when I'm playing the exercise, I don't really want the guitar part in the extractor, because is it the extractor that I can hear, or is it my playing that I can hear?
Yeah.
So I tend to click the M and get rid of the overdrive guitar, and then it's clear that any guitar playing I can hear is me.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit play and have a listen to it.
Okay. Is this with the guitar in? That's with the guitar taken out.
Okay.
Oh, no, there we go.
So I could get rid of the guitar.
There's a guitar, overdrive guitar's there. That's still there. Overdrive guitar.
Overdrive guitar.
There you go. So if you click out the overdrive guitar, that'll then work. And
oh, there's the piano that's in.
That's it. And if you highlight the other guitar part, it might have been that was taken out. There you go. Now obviously I can then play along with that.
So now we know that guitar sound is you and nobody else. What about if I speed it up a bit?
Okay. Okay.
Before it got too quick.
Yes, thank you. So you can go through that. You can speed it up. You can slow it down. You can take out the instruments that you'd rather not hear. In my case, the guitar. You can increase the volume of maybe the drums or the bass or whatever you like to keep you in time, or whatever your personal choice is. That's absolutely, ideal. Fantastic to play along to. Really, really good. The other thing which you can do, which is very, very good, is it can record your performance and it will then analyse it for you. In other words, it will give you a percentage score as to how well you played it, and it will actually print out a musical score, which is colour coded, to show you how accurately you played the piece of music you're trying to play. Okay, so in order to do that, we need a MIDI guitar. We need a MIDI guitar. Now, you can't do that with a conventional guitar, not at least without a MIDI pickup. Now, this guitar over there by your good self is a conventional guitar with a MIDI pickup attached, which is that thin black strip just before the bridge. Just that there? That's it there. That's a new pickup which has been attached to that guitar. You can attach it to any guitar. You buy it as a unit. You attach it to the guitar and it comes with a set-top box which goes into your computer, and that will convert it into MIDI, so you can then record your guitar into the computer. You then don't use the amplifier, you go straight into the computer. But obviously, I mean, if you've got an acoustic guitar, you can still play along with the tracks and learn the lessons. You can still play away, of course. That's exactly what you can do. Regarding the MIDI, the other thing, of course, you can do is use the MIDI guitar, which we spoke about before the break, which is this guitar here. This will record straight in. You don't need any adaptions, you don't need a pickup or whatever. Feels slightly different to a conventional guitar because we have buttons, I think as we discussed earlier, rather than guitar strings, but it works in exactly the same way. Plug it straight into your computer and you're ready to go and you can analyse immediately. Should we have a go? Why not? Alright, I'm pushing the red record button. Okay, here we go. And this is just you doing exercise 1. And don't worry if you don't know what's going on in exercise 1, because obviously in lesson 1, of course, we'll be talking about it in more depth. So I'm playing along to that there. Yeah, that's a good pace actually, isn't it? Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so if you stop that, hit the stop button there, and then you click the A for analyse. Now, as we didn't go the whole way through the exercise, I'll score a pretty low score, which is what I'm sticking to anyway. But it will bring up an analysis of how I just played that part. Ah, here we are. Okay, I'll put it full screen. Okay, let's see how I did. Right, your overall grading was 36.88%. You sound disappointed. Not disappointed. Okay, I should just point out that it will only mark the percentage of the exercise you play. So I played about 50%, this is the truth, about 50% of the exercise there, so even played perfectly, 50% is as good a mark as you can get. Right. Yeah. Enough of your excuses. Okay. Let's look at what you should have played. This is on the top line. Yeah. The top line, what that's telling you is that if you play the notes absolutely perfectly at the right time in the right place, they should come up as black notes, and the grey sort of trail after the note is showing you the duration of the chord. Okay. So that's then mirrored underneath. Right. So well, not mirrored strictly, well, it's not strictly mirrored, you're quite right. But as you can see, there's a few green lines, which I think are good. They are good, there's a colour coordination, colour key thing under there, which tells you that green's good. Red's poor, unfortunately. Yes. Don't know what was going on here between bars 3 and 4. Don't know what was going on there. But what you'll find is when you play on a MIDI guitar, it's programmed very, very accurately. So if you play something in real life which misses the note slightly, I mean a correct note, but not exactly in the middle of the fret, etc., it's programmed to get it absolutely perfectly right. So you can be a little bit forgiving with some of the scores that you would get, definitely. All right, so practice is required for you. Practice is certainly required for me, yes.